So designing your life. What were you going to talk about? Let's tell them really quick. Let's give them 5 minutes, baby, because I think it's so important. I'm going to give you your little bit of music as you work over into that. Let me see. This is a song. What song is this? Give y'all a little break here. We go all night. I think that's this song, y'all. And then we're going to give you a little 5 minutes of what's good. What's good going on right now, and why you need to focus on designing your life.
You trying to do my part?
No, let me stop.
This is the section of the show that we like to refer to as designing your life. Because if you're going to move, if you're going to uproot yourself from where you are, then don't just move, but design your life. Right? So I ran across an article and I thought it made a lot of sense for our audience. And the title of the article was A Once in a Lifetime Chance to Start Over.
I love that.
It's time to prepare for a new and better normal than your pre-pandemic life.
Think about that, y'all. This is a chance to start over.
How about that?
Like completely start over. Just what can be better? What can I do better?
So the article, the juxtaposition of the article was really talking about this. It used an example of this woman who was in a car crash, and she, had a head injury. She ended up with amnesia, and what she decided was that she wanted to change, like some of her friends. She wanted to really take a deep dive into what was interesting to her, what made her happy, what wasn't making her happy. And she just became this kind of different person.
I love it.
And her parents explained to her friends as, she got that bump on the head and so forth and so on. And when they started talking with her about why she was making these changes, she's like, no. I'm creating happiness. I'm creating.
Love
I had
it.
some time
It gives me chills.
I had some time to just step away from my regular regimen in my life and really decide what I wanted. Right. And so the idea is that this is the analogy that we all are experiencing post panorama. Right. We had this time to really reflect, that we had more time than we've ever had.
Yeah.
We were able to get off of the treadmill, so to speak, in our lives.
The rat race.
And really look at, wow, this is different, right? And so now as we begin to look at what it looks like on the other side, what did we, I want to read this. I want to read this first portion because I want people to really get what I'm saying here. And so it says, today, many of us have an opportunity to do something similar. Americans might be entering the waning days of the year, plus coronavirus pandemic, during which life's ordinary patterns have paused for millions of people. In these last weeks and months before something resembling normality returns, we might ask ourselves, what do I want normal to look like? Then we can start preparing for a new and better normal than what we took for granted until a year ago. People talk about life before the virus.
Yeah.
Their recollections are often sentimental. About the good old days. About what we miss. In a recent survey, the specific things people said they yearned for most were traveling, 24%. Visiting family, 19%, and hanging out with friends, 16%. Now, in those surveys, we haven't found some things that we don't miss from the pre-pandemic. But here's the idea. What you want to do is you want to think about.
Get your pieces of paper, guys. Here come the points.
So the number one point is do some data collection.
Collect the data.
Write down on a piece of paper, just kind of maybe draw a 2x2 matrix. And the columns you want to have what you like and what you dislike.
Pros and cons list. That sounds familiar.
Right. So the rows are pre-pandemic and pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Many of us have taken to asking each other over the past year or so what we miss from before pandemic and what we hate about living through it. But for your happiness, the more germane questions are, what did I dislike from before the pandemic and don't miss? And what do I like from the pandemic times that I will miss? Okay? So just sort of go through that, right? Now, the next thing you want to do is make a list of things that you want to leave behind. Like,
ooh,
I ain't dealing with this no more.
these pounds.
Leave them pounds behind. Leave any kind of things
Bad habits
that are not vibing with your spirit. Leave that behind. And then the third thing you want to do is make a list of the things that you want to keep.
I'm gonna keep you.
What? You gonna keep me, baby?
I'm gonna keep you.
Thank you. I'm so happy about that. So, and I think that when you do that, you'll have a nice directory for yourself and for your life and how you want your life to be moving forward, right? And so in the spirit of designing your life, these are the things that Trace and I are talking about each week, right? So if you're going to move, if you're moving to the DMV, it doesn't have to be the same paradigm that you've always had, right? It can be completely different. It can be something that you're doing that's very different. How do you want to commute? Do you want to not have to commute anymore? Do you want to find a job that enables you to work from home? Do you want to create your own job? Do you want to create your own business? Do you want to live closer to your family? Do you want to live further away from your family? Do you have some friends that you would love to engage with and have a life near them? Do you want to have more dinner parties? Do you want to work in a completely different industry, right? So there's so many questions and things that the panorama has taught us. So just think about that today. Hey, what do you want to leave behind, and what do you want to add that you've come to know and love in this post-panoramic life?
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down. City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down, yeah.
I was born in the city, I was raised on its edges. My pop